Just a moment, just a moment, just a moment, just a moment. So, you all need to focus. You all need to focus on what you want. Bonding together, because otherwise those who don't want to listen and get involved, those go further back, and those who want to come closer, just come closer. Confidently, please, more confidently. You can surely come closer, more closer. Come, my dear friends, closer, we have something to tell you. Just a little more. More. More closer. More closer. Okay, stop here. But how lovely. This is so interesting. So, what's on your minds? What will you, Santa Claus, ask for? Gifts? What kind of gifts? Crystals. Here you have crystals. Have fun. How wonderful. We talked about manifestations, and then I had an idea. When a person goes to toilet, he also manifests there. Once again, what do you understand with manifestation? Something is created. People are having many thoughts. All the time something is being created. But people sometimes create something, then he causes something by thinking, then he manifests every moment of reality. What exactly do you mean? We people want to manifest those things that come with the resistance. So, you want to manifest what you think you should have, but maybe you need to find out if that thing is really necessary, or you just think it's necessary. Because everything you need manifests itself without resistance. If people want something with difficulties, they think they need something. It causes complexity inside himself. Further, it makes complexity throughout all his life. And you think that something happens too slow, or something isn't happening and something isn't working. You make too much complexity inside yourself. Yes, it is so. Yes, so funny. Does absolute presence beings also live within universe? We are now looking for words how to tell you this, how to explain. No. Let's stay with now, in this universe now. In different level maybe. Their energy can pervade this time-space, their energy can pervade so-called physical energy. If you mean a place in space like a planet, then no. If you mean a place like a part of the universe, then no. It can be a place in a universe where they come closer to. It can be a place in a universe they arrive. It can be a place in a universe which you understand like black hole, and there isn't black light coming out of it, but there is bright, loving, beautiful and wonderful light coming out, from which everything is expanding out. Similar, like you would call it your galactical center, bright light from which everything expands out. It's like in other dimension. What do you understand with dimension? We would say in simple words, yes, from other dimensions, from other substantial energetical connection, vibration, like from totally different energy qualities that exist. There are connected elements like light and sound, but elements of energy aren't the same as you have. Once we were channeling and there were spaceships with thousands of beings we called me inside, and for example I understand that there is an infinite universe that is like a ball that can expand infinitely. Not infinitely, but yes, it can expand, change form, change conscious form if necessary. Yes, in center there is light, and in periphery there is a resistance. We would say unsettled center, permanent center. For example, if it expands itself in shape of pancake, there is again center. If it expands itself like a cube, there is again center. It is not one settled center. In human body there is also a center. And so my question is, can universe expand itself if necessary? Universe expands and shrinks, then again expands. If necessary, you mean like it thinks that it has to get bigger and it expands? My mind thinks that universe is infinite and that is a status, but I understand that it's infinite and that is like a process. It means that it has a certain size, but its potential to expand makes it infinite. We will try now to understand what you just explained. So, can universe expand itself bigger? Yes, but it don't have such necessity, like, oh, I need to expand myself for 300 trillion years, light years bigger today, and so I will do it. It is allowing, flowing, and so it is a component part that we could call universe dwellers. If there is anyone who wants to get some experience, new planets, then there is nothing else but to expand bigger. And new environment, new time, new space, new realities, but it all exists in what you call your universe. Yes, and so does absolute present beings live inside this huge universe or outside? Outside consciousness, outside proclivity, outside desires, outside everything that exists in this universe, everything that belongs to it, everyone that operates in it. Those are beings that still want to do something, beings that want to experience something, beings that want to achieve something, and at the same time to get something and to give something. When proclivity decreases, proclivity to do decreases also desire to be on exactly this surface where you are, to be on a different quality surface where it's possible to experience what seems to be more appropriate. Not only seems to be, but actually is more appropriate. So, in my understanding, universe expands itself if necessary. When one wants to do something in it, it can get bigger. Your lungs also wants to expand when inhale and wants to shrink when you exhale. And you are inside this universe or outside? You want to talk directly to us? Yes, with you. Oh, how sweet. No, we are not in your universe. So, you are outside? No. To communicate with you people, we need to be in your little universe. We need to be more physical. It would be similar to your story about absolute presence beings and perceive it like consciousness, like infinite light consciousness, And to connect with this place, you have to need to have intermediation. And if you ask us, we could call it light ray, light that use intermediation. You say that those are beings. intermediation, interspace, so you can transfer it to physical, transfer it to your mind, your little mind. And then there is this intermediation, so it's possible to explain this to your mind. But once again, everything that is explained in your mind, with your mind, through your mind, to your mind, is only that what you are experiencing, what you have experienced, and it's just a tool to explain this to mind. But once again, for you to understand this, you just need to step into this intermediation a little bit higher, and it will be clear to you about yourself, about your higher self, and about yourself as a consciousness that is a presence at the same time. It's so easy. So, this universe, as we see it infinite, is, we would say that universe is a reflection of consciousness that is materializing itself through intermediation, fulfilling its desires and dream through it, everything it wants to experience. For example, you are light, you are a form of high consciousness. We can use only words to say form of high consciousness that has no form, no physical appearance, nothing to touch, nothing to touch. It just enjoys itself. It just enjoys itself to finally touch itself, to finally touch itself, which is actually you and you all. It would be great to somehow come here inside, to come in this intermediation that would make a section, an interspace, which could be called a universe, and then you could experience each other through consciousness as yourself again and again, and to be yourself again and again. And if you here have a thought that it could be like this or that, and you are with your consciousness, then consciousness will expand the universe and will expand you, change as you want. And it is a reflection of what consciousness once have thought of and is constantly thinking and experiencing. It's easy. Then those theories that I have thought of actually exist. Why shouldn't they be? The consciousness thinks of something as she likes it, she experiences it. When she thinks of something and it's creative, she experiences it. When consciousness thinks of something, she is already experiencing it. What will happen if everyone stops wishing? There is not going to be a situation when everyone stops wishing. You can experience the moment when everyone stops wishing, everyone stops asking for Santa what they want, but Santa will bring you something anyway. It will be different. It will be different. Wishing is to be creative, wishing is to be joyful, wishing is to be glad every moment. And every moment when you are like this, there will be always something new, interesting, wonderful, and smiling, something else, something even more creative. After 100 years, and everyone is exhausted from Santa. They don't want him. Something new is coming up. So then, universe is like one molecule in some... stop formalizing, please, stop formalizing. We would say that your fantasy, your thought already is infinite. It is infinite and it tends to be infinite. And if you would start to draw all this on a paper, you would be drawing infinitely, as long as you want. How it is possible to ask a question without formalizing through a human mind, through heart, through feelings somehow? When you will be through heart, through feelings, you won't have any questions. You won't have questions like this. To remember things that once have been is very, very interesting. I have a question. Oh, you pulled yourself together. Yes, I did. What is my purpose of life, our mission here? Your mission is to give outwards, not to take anything back, only give. And how would it look in everyday life? Daily, it would be like when you want for someone to feel good, you wish for someone to feel good. So she's like warehouse filled with goodies. No. What would be appropriate work or profession for me? When a human starts to search for his profession, he starts to complicate himself. When he thinks about his profession, he complicates himself. If a person searches for his profession, he don't even see himself, he don't feel himself. When human stops searching for a profession, stops thinking about it, and stops striving for it, he starts to feel himself, and this himself just does everything, and this himself just happens. Then I can stop thinking and searching. Allow yourself to be, allow yourself to be. And that place I need to be will come towards me. Yes, and you as a human are thinking and fearing and considering about things you want and get worried about things you don't have, that could possibly have. You're not even going towards what you need. You get worried about you don't have, and you give all your time to that thought. But to replace that moment with watching, with being, with responding, with, how you say, being here and now, be here and now as you are, and there will always be an offer, a manifestation, and always will happen that exact thing that must happen this exact moment, and not putting in a shelf anything, whether I'm a woodworker, a musician, a good mother. You're simply what you are, without shelves, and at that moment, when a human becomes aware of that, feeling that feeling, he is all the time in that delight. He is in essence, and this essence does everything by itself. And he don't need to something particular. Everything happens by itself. Everything happens. There's no need to go and do something. Going and doing just happens, and you are the one who does it. Does every human has a presence? But how else, even collectively, one can experience itself in a group and think that the other one is something else, but actually it is also himself, to make himself more interesting. Then humans also have their part of presence somewhere outside the universe. Always within yourself, and from yourself outwards is all the universe. So, we are like presence projection inside the universe. You are your own presence projection right here, because it is what you want. Why wouldn't it be interesting to experience this kind of form of yourself? From your perspective, what is the best invention by mankind? Smile, 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 scent, scent, and sun, and a touch to each other. All the things you named I find similar to each other, and it's the same. Smile also is like a touch and like a sun. It is interaction with one another. The smile is also like creative something. Don't think so difficultly. Many things which we mentioned, like when you smile, a small part of light passed through you. That is what you call your presence. When you touch someone gently, with love, the thing you call presence also goes through a little bit. When you smile, shine and gleam, you let more presence go through you. And that is the most interesting thing. All cells, all thoughts, all opinions at that moment connects correctly, and presence starts to flowing through. But human always those keys and switches turns on all sides. But human always switch on those keys and switches to all sides and complicate everything more and find reason not to smile, so that light couldn't find him so easily. So it would be harder for him. What causes the wish to turn away from the light? You yourself. You make a wish, a desire, and the opposite. A desire to strive and desire to achieve. And when you strive, and then you just thought that you could achieve, and you just achieve. Both strive and achievement is made by yourself. I would like to go back to my question and answer. Is it possible that I emotionally give away too much and do harm to myself in that way? We would say a big suspense inside, a big puzzle inside, a big misunderstanding inside. It is a sign that you are moving towards understanding. You are moving towards yourself. Then comes a big misunderstanding, and then you seek to understand everything. But you don't need to seek. Everything is happening itself. Everything is happening itself. I'm just worried about situations that have been when I take emotions from others and they lay deep down in me. And how not to let in them if I don't want them. But you like it. You like it. You like to be kind and sweet person. But if it hurts me, it hurts you because you learn from that. Hurts because acquire your nature, feel your nature slowly, come towards your nature. When you feel it, when you will start to understand it, it will be like a food, like a dessert for you, and you will feel and see all the bright in humans, all the bright that is also hurtful, and you will have so sweet experience, and the feeling will get brighter and more brighter. So she feels hurt because she is closer to herself and not because it's something bad. We would say that there is someone who really would like to meet you, someone who comes closer to meet you. You're talking about her. Yes. While coming towards it, you experience all the parallel. As they say, you need to push everything out to make room for that what was meant to be there. Like a cleaning why that place is filled with something. At what age did this happen to me? We would say very simply, we can now say that time of suffering is going to an end. Suffering time is diminishing and you feel it more. Everything is coming outwards, leaves place for a new time, for a new you. What is singing? Why people sing? They want to share, they want to be their own state. They want to feel and be in their own state. Then why there is saying that people are singing in a crooked voice? Because they are trying to sing. Can all humans sing? All humans sound, but the thing you call singing is some sort of limitation. All humans sound, one in laughter, one in joy, one in voice, one higher, one lower. They all sound, but once you say the one to sound different, he tries to sound different. He disturbs himself to sound. But when you start to sound, start to feel your own sound and start to give it outwards, you are starting to sing your song, and I always have a delight. Do you have anything else in your minds? Are you also inside the universe? Alright, you're probably outside. Now I'm closer. I'm trying to be closer. You would say, retracted myself deep in here, and I'm tormenting myself to be here. The second I will release myself, there will be a shoot back to my presence, and everything that happened here will still stay with me as a memory, you would say. We can tell you as well that soul also, when it's released, it shoots away immediately because it's too dense here. Or you need to be heavier to be here. Maybe put on some dumbbell with the words suffering and difficulties in them, and you are here already. Torment, and you're here. And when you start to take off those dumbbells, you start to look differently at all the world around you. And when you maybe will put on some sorrow or memory perhaps, some weight that will send you to the bottom again, and then again you will be lower and then higher. It means that there is like an anchor. To experience this dense place, we take some rocks in our pockets. You create dense place in yourselves to be denser. You make your own density, and then you are and can be in more dense places. That is why sometimes people don't want to get rid of their problems, because when they like throw away their rocks and go away. We can tell you as well that soul also, when it's released, it shoots away immediately, because it is too dense here. You need to be heavier to be here? Okay, maybe you can put on some dumbbell with the words suffering and difficulties on them, and you are here already, tormented, and you're here. And when you start to take off those dumbbells, you start to look differently at all the world around you. And when you maybe will put on some sorrow or memory perhaps, some weight that will send you to the bottom again, and then you will be lower and then again higher. It means that there is like an anchor. To experience this dense place, we take some rocks in our pockets or something. You create denser place in yourselves. To be denser, you make your own density, and then you are and you can be in more dense places. That is why some people don't want to get rid of their problems, because that's how they will throw their rocks away and they will get lighter. Yes, somehow. Then it is like an achievement to do channeling here in Latvia. There is a dense atmosphere here. It is an achievement for yourself. Achievement will be for yourself. Why do you mention Latvia here? Latvia like an environment on earth for channeling? Or, it is a place with a dense energy. Is it an achievement? Yes and no. There is saying that Latvia is like a swamp. Forest people. Can you help me? Like, for my presence part to come closer. I sort of feel it, but when will it come? We can say it to you at the moment when all the information that you are collecting, information that you get, information that you feel, slowly starts to rotate in you, set in motion all your body, slowly set in motion. And when it will be set enough, every cell, every part of energy that is in you will start to move faster, and they will start to perceive the thing you call presence. And when you will start to perceive the presence, you will start to understand, you will start to feel, you will start to realize, and you will start to see more and more bright, white, blue, silver light inside of you. You will start to feel it inside yourself, like loving, very pleasant light. So everything that happens in this camp is a part of a process. This camp is happening, but you always put yourself like aside. That's why your path is individual. Your perception and road is individual. You just take those berries that are lying here, take for yourself, taste, understand and get it. And if I continue to do this at the same intensity, then after some while something will happen. You will still have a place to go. There will be more gatherings. There will be someone who will activate new experiences, not only here, but also elsewhere, all around you, and you become more sensitive inside yourself. We even think that you have emotionally and with complexity closed yourself, and now your job is to open this, move complexity a little bit away and let a little bit feathery in. Today we were having presence meditation, and someone was saying goodbye to me, and I don't know who was that. Can you please tell me? Do you feel sincerity to the world around you? And yes, you feel it. And then imagine even more, 100,000 times more. Someone feels sincerity for you. Beautiful people. Is there any other question? If we get rid of those rocks, we can transform ourselves, right? So much thinking is already unnecessary if you think to get rid of them. We will expand this story a little bit more. Just a moment. Just a moment. A human was going. He was joyful, or he was sad, but he was still going. Then he met a wolf in a forest, and the wolf said, "Everything's bad." The human was going further, and he started to fear, because everything was bad, but he was still going to the same road. Then he met a bear, and the bear said, "Everything is difficult." And then the human was going and thinking that everything is bad and difficult, and then he met a man with a bird who had already met the wolf and the bear, and he said, "Difficult, but you need to do something to become more feathery." And then the human was going further and thinking everything is bad, difficult, and I even have to do something. But if I go back behind those three beings and you just go, then you realize that you don't have to do anything. There are no difficulties and there is nothing bad to be afraid of. It's so easy for you to be free. And if you start doing something, it will be hard, difficult, and then you will meet the next person that will say that it's not even possible, and then we will go further, and then maybe there will be nowhere to go, and then we will think that there's really nowhere to go. But we won't look back because it feels hard, difficult, and that is not possible. Until that moment, you already collected everything. Let's rewind movie. Met Wolf. He said it's difficult. Dear Wolf, what makes you think that? Because I met bear. Okay, let's go to the bear together. We meet bear and ask, "Dear bear, why it is so difficult?" And he said, "Because I met that man. He said that it's not possible and I got scared." Let's go to that wall where road ends, and then they say, "Enough, there is nothing. Let's go back." And all four of them started to go back and realized that the song and the road became more beautiful and interesting. All animal beings are beautiful. Is there another person to meet behind the one who said that it's not possible? Oh, it was just a story. You're complicating everything and you encumber everything by yourselves. You make up everything. There are only few variations, but when you are mixing them, you create so many variations. Very scary, difficult, or very difficult and a little bit scary, very impossible and difficult, and so on and so on. It can be explained in more details. The sector of our planet is far from the universe border. Look in your heart and inside your solar plexus, and there you will see the source of the universe. And if you will go further and further and further, the source will have no choice but to make further and further and further. Oh, okay, it expands. Yes, I understood. It's hard for us to be here. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, then we should let him go. We say thank you, present being. It is a pleasure to remember what once had been and what once was, and that moment exists now.
Viņš vienkārši, ka gāja projām, viņš tā mīlestība ir. Nu jau viss kārtībā, vienkārši visu laiku naudu.
Viņi liek lietā to padomu. Samīdot pa brīvi, viss.
Kā tu tevi?
Jā, uzsvaidīt un smāržu palaist.
Pagaidi. Ai, ka rokas drab.
Tas tāds ir baigi labs.
Un, Un bija tā, ka viņš tā kā bez mazai tur tās ielpas, lai šeit noturētos. Tā kā viņš tur tās ielpas, lai šeit noturētos. Bet, tas ir grūti, bet tas nav neiespējams. Viņš liek tur un tādā aiziet. Un es tā, kas tu biji? Un tā, cik skaisti. Nu tad, ko es saliku kopā pats priekš sevis. Naparādāt. Kročs, kad tu aizēji kaut kādā tīrā apziņā, tu joprojām eksistē. Kā, es piemēram paimšu tas viss, kas gāja šeit cauri. Tu joprojām eksistē, kā tu pats. Un pilnīgā kaut kādā, vai tu esi miera pilns, pa tevi nāca, kad tev ir uz galvas vienkārši spoži balts spīd, visu laiku spoži balts. Un tā kā bez mazliet tu visu savu dzīvi sarežģīji, es nezinu, varbūt dēļ kaut kāda strīda, varbūt dēļ kaut kāda notikuma savā dzīvē. Tu nenāc tāds izskaidrojums, nāc vienkārši, un tu visu sarežģīji. Un tu katru lietu, ko tu pieeji, viņš iziet no sākuma cauri tam sarežģītības filtram, tam sarežģītības sienai. Līdz ar to viņš mazliet tev neaizskart visu laiku, tā kā kamēr atrisinās. Un tur bija tā, jo vairāk tu ņemsi, tas sāks atrisināties, un tad būs tas super čoks, man vienāk sauc, kā grib taisības stāvoklis un tam līdzīgi. Kad tu to noārdīsi no savu to, tādu sienu riņķī, es nezinu, tā kā, tu bez mazliet kaut ko redzi un tev gribās tā kā sākt skaidrot, ko tu redzi, tā siena tā kā risinās. Tad tālāk es biju, ka tu esi tā kā apziņa, tu esi tā kā tādā, tu esi tā kā tāds, absolūti svēts, absolūti tīrs, absolūts. Tu tā kā tādā pasaulē, kur tev neviens neko neprasa, kur tev neviens neko nedod, tur neviens neko tevis negrib. Tu esi vienkārši absolūti pilnīgs. Ja tev ir miedarbība ar kaut ko, tad tas ir vienkārši tik skaisti. Tu nevar izstāstīt, tur nav forma vairāk, tu vienkārši nav forma. Tu paliec kā tāds spīdoša gaisma, jau gaismā, kas spīd vienkārši gaismā, kas jau ir gaisma. Un tu tur vienkārši tā kā vazājies apkārt, plūst apkārt. Un tas bija par to apziņu, prasīja par to fizisko pasauli, kad apziņa tajā telpā, visa kolektīvā, tur nav forma vispārībā. Kad viņi tajā, es kā parodāšu, ka viņi tajā formā ir izvēlējusies sevi pašu, tajā, kas viņi tur ir tajā gaismā, kaut kādā veidā pieredzēt, bet viņi nemaz no turienes pazūd. Viņi savu šejienu to pieredzi, un viņi tā apziņa pati izveido to visu, un kur tās visas gaismiņas ir paklīdušas, un viņas vienu otru spēlējās, vienu otru kustās, vienu otru miedarbojas. Un kad apziņa, ka tu esi saiknē ar savu apziņu, un to augstāko, piemēram, apziņu. Tu pilnībā esi saiknē ar to, tu pats esi jau tā apziņa, un tu savu apziņu var pārveidot jaunu, jo tu esi apziņa, kas to vēlas, pārveidot jaunu. Un tad tur bija tā, ka tu esi saiknē, tu visu laiku no jauna, un no jauna var pats sevi radīt, pats sevi pieredzēt, no jauna. Pretējā gadījumā tu sako līdzi tam vēlmei, kopistiskā apziņas vēlmei, kopistiskā apziņas vēlmei, bet ja tu pats saplūsi apziņu, tu no jauna. Un tur pēkšņi bija, kad viņai tāds, es nezinu, kādas krāsas, tas ir tāds miglains, zilganīgs, var teikt, pelēcīgs, gaišs, balts, nenormālākā mīlestība vienkārši, nevar izstāstīt. Un tur, piemēram, ja tu jūti līdzjūtību un to sirsnību, sevī, kad tev atceras grib, viņi tieši tāpat pret tevīm ir, bet vēl vairāk, un tu vienkārši sajūti to enerģiju no viņiem, un vēl vairāk. Tik skaisti, tur vajag tā, kā saka, norūdīties, lai tur tā ilgāk padzīvotu.
Likās, ka šitā būtne, ka viņš tā kā minēja, ka viņš pats ir bijis te iekšā, un viņš tā
jā, tas bija kā apziņa,
kā
saprot caur sevi, apziņa, kā saprot, es pats atceros sevi, ka es jau esmu tas caur šejieni, un tad viņš visu laiku atcerās, cik interesanti bija būt šeit, tad, kad bija, un kas jau reiz ir bijis. Tas bija kaut kā interesanti.
Tad viņam tāda viša nostalģija bija.
Tas vienkārši nāca uz ārā, tur bija tāda jocīga sajūta, tas vienkārši teica.
Viņš tā kā randomā atnāca, vai tas ir kaut kāds?
Tur bija tas, sākumā ir tāds stāvoklis, tad ir tas stingrais. Es saprotu, ka tur tie stingrie, tur ir tā, piemēram, Enrico vēl ir, tā kā zemāk, tad Enrico nāk, un tad vēl starpnieks ar Enrico uztaisa. Un ka viņš tā kā to cilvēku vēl to valodu var paņemt, to prātu var paņemt. Un, teiksim, ir tāds humors, striktīgi jautrība, kad nav tie koncepti tik daudz, tad Enrico vēl pienāk klāt. Bet te bija apmēram tā, vai tu vari atnākt, un tad tas viss tā piramīda noārdās, un tad tas tu, tad arī atnāk, kas to, tur, un tā, jā.
Tagad stāstīja.
Starpniecība pazuda.
Tagad stāstīja, kad kā kosmos rodās, tad bija tas tur, un tagad tāpatās bija, tas tur.
Tur viss tā te veidi.
Viņš kaut kā tā kā sajūt, ka nav vajadzīga tā piramīda starpniecība vai kaut kā tas saistīts.
Nē, tu vienkārši pasīvi, vai tu vari atnākt. Un tā, es, ok. Tas bija tas pirmais uz vārdu tu, kas, tā kā uzreiz tā kā es, tas es, es varbūt no tevis.
Jā, paskatās video, jo tu saprotu, ka prasīju,
Piemēram, ja tu varētu runāt par kosmosu, tad viņš mazliet nepārslēgos, viņš runātu par kosmosu.
Jā.
Tur kāds vēl kaut kāds jautājums uzdev, vienkārši asaras gāžās, un es tā, neraudi.
Jā, skatījos kaut kādu, turējies labi.
Nē, turējies, ka mēs to esības šovak četlingojam, ka tie lāčplaši puņķis metru garš. Kaut kā es tad jau biju, tad jau es kaut kā biju, es apmēram zinu, kas notiksies, un tad vienkārši aiztur elpu, un tad tā kā, tas nevar, tā aiziešanas brīdis bija maigi izelpu, un es nevaru saules pirmā šeit vienkārši, es nevaru vienkārši jau tāds reiz gribās viss. Tā kā rodoši. Es nevaru. Nē, bet bija forši, man patīk.
Jā.
Es laiku jūtu to, sajūtu to sevi. Tas jau nāc viss mēs, kas elpo, tā ir vienkārši tā sajūta. Es nezinu, tik forši. Kaut kas jauns bija interesants.
Pulsum brīdis. Baigarēji varēja just tajā procesā kaut kā gāja cauri.
Zini, to, ko tu jūti, jā, forši. Bija sākumā tas, ka nevar savākties, tur fonā viss kaut kas notiek, visādi troksnīši un tam līdzīgi. Pat, piemēram, tur tālāk kaut kur sēžas, tur tam līdzīgi, un tad ir tas, mans prāts visu laiku, tad panākiet tuvāk, un tad, kā es panācāt tuvāk, tā telpa norobežojas pilnībā. Un tad bija tā, tad mēs runāsim ar tiem, kas atnāca, un tad pārējie, tad, lai fonā, tā. Un vēl bija tas, ka jo tuvāk īstenībā bija, jo vairāk varēja sajust tavu enerģiju, un līdz ar to kaut kā vairāk varēja saprast uzreiz. Un es sapratu to, ka baigi svētīgs cilvēks. tas katrā ir, tas vienkārši viņš vistuvāk bija. Un tā es vairāk iesaistījās sarunās.
Cik es pats esmu izondējis, tad tā manā būtība, viņa ir baigi neatkarīgā un viņa ir kaut kur tā kā drusku augstāka nekā, tā kā vairums. Un tad,
jā.
Tāda bišķi augstāka.
Kurās nebija tas pats kaut kas.
Un tāda līdzīga ir vēl viena personu uz šitās planētas. Un, tas ir, viņi plānoja satikties kaut kad, nezinu, kurā vietā viņi ir.
Tad bija tā, vai tas, ko tu dari šeit, un tad bija tā, ka šeit ir ļoti maz no tā visa, ko tev vajag, ka bija tas, ka tas visur ir visur apkārt. Ka tev, teiksim, es nākšu laiku šeit, vai channeling, vai tikai meditācija, ka tas ir visur apkārt, un visur apkārt tie puzlīši saliksies.
Tā arī ir, es vācu puzlīti jau vairākus gadus.
Rokas vēl drāpē.
Un tāda, meiča ir tāda kaut kur kontinentu otrā galā, tāda tā kā es apmēram.
Jā, forši. Jā. Lai tev izdodās, jā. Labi, bet ir noslēgusies.
Riktīgi tādu punktu uz I.
Laukšas?
Laukšas.